I'm moving forward to Ms. Sydney Wong, founder of Venturx from Canada, North America. As we all know that being in the pandemic, everyone goes digitally, and every work and is to be done in the digitally, and there is a and people are working remotely from their home. And so, could you please redefine the new working culture and the state of the startup and the venture capital? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so here in North America, one of the biggest co-working spaces that startups and investors and also a lot of corporations used to use was, of course, WeWork. I myself used to work out of WeWork as well, back in the day. And that was one of the companies that dropped from, during the pandemic, $49 billion in valuation to $2.9 billion. So it dropped more than $40 billion, which just shows that the market doesn't have a lot of optimism of us going back to that culture, and paying those extraordinary fees, being as a part of that. I need to see people and everything, because things are moving more digitally, both corporations as well as startups. I mean, startups had to go this route because of bootstrapping methods and all of these, budgeting restraints. But now it is for very different reasons: for safety, it's for comfort, it is for convenience, it is for the well-being of their employees, right? And corporations are following the same trend. So even, our family and friends that work for huge corporations of thousands of people are still only going back to the office a couple days a week these days, right? And so it is showing that we are no longer needing that kind of space anymore. And that really does impact the way that we see things. As an entrepreneur myself, I've always had a remote and digital team. My first hire was from Albania, and he only had internet 4 days a week, and we still hired him as a junior developer, because we were like, no, this we need to give opportunities to places that didn't have opportunities. And in my personal belief and professional belief, talent is borderless. And I think that more than ever, we are seeing that nowadays too, because everyone is going to be digital and remote, and making home offices and making the work balance lifestyle more and more prevalent for both startups as well as corporations, or any kind of industry that you work in. And to know that you really do have to put your employees first, you have to put their safety and their health first, their families first, and then make sure that you are cooperating with the new normal in all of these trends and all of these ways, right? And then in terms of the startup and venture capital side, I would say that things are moving a lot faster, and things are getting done a lot easier, because they're no longer going to fly to come and meet you and see you and then do that handshake deal or do the pass the napkin deal. That's no longer a thing. Also, that's very contagious. So that's no longer a thing. But they will now be doing things digitally and wiring, huge amounts of funding through, let's say, WeChat, like you mentioned, and other payment sources that are digital, that are quick and easy. But also mergers and acquisitions from Google and a lot of other big players are happening much faster overnight now, because they didn't have to meet in person, and because all of these things can be done much faster and at a different valuation than they were before. Valuations are not being inflated the same way, and so therefore we are seeing different opportunities everywhere, right? So it's a very interesting time to be going into both entrepreneurship, to be going into venture capital, startup, and just kind of seeing how the new normal really does play out, because you have that kind of chance and opportunity that you didn't have before, when there were all these few huge players taking over the entire market, because now everyone is on a kind of an uncertain balance and a more of an even playing field in a way, because nobody really knows the answer. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the next 12 months. And that makes everything all the more exciting.